Hi everyone, I'm Stan Mallow. Welcome to Paranormal Yakker. My guest today is spiritualist, author, and poet Brad Burkholder. I'll be talking with Brad about his book, which is part of the Paranormal Perspectives series. It's titled Where the Spirit Led: My Improbable Journey into the Coming Age and What I Learned. Brad Burkholder, welcome to Paranormal Yakker.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
In your book, Brad, you make a compelling connection between Mary Magdalene, King Arthur, and Christianity as we know it today, as well as aliens and the nature of demons, the overlooked mistake that has brought about a schism between science and religion, and your life as a reincarnated poet. That's a lot of territory to cover, and I'm going to do my best to cover as much of it as time allows. To begin with, Brad, I would like you to tell me about Ramoth, a highly evolved, God-oriented spirit you've been following for years. Who is he? When did he enter your life? And in what ways has he influenced your spiritual journey?
Big question. I met Ramoth in 1997 when I went to his channel, Yvonne, for a channeled reading. I was blown away, and I've been a student of Ramoth ever since. I still have readings. I believe I spoke with Ramoth within the last 10 days or so. So I went because I was having relationship issues, and I wanted to know why things weren't working out. Ramoth was helpful in that, but the most helpful thing was when he started telling me about my own life, about events that no one knew anything about except myself. I quickly ascertained that he was, as I said, God oriented. Asked him if he was of God and of the light, and he assured me that he was. He even talked about Jesus. And he has been my spiritual advisor. He's been my teacher, many things, both practical and spiritual, for many years. And my life has greatly changed because of his influence. Part of your original question was, who is he exactly? And he immediately described himself as a guide. I took that word to mean nothing in particular until probably in the past year. I learned that a guide is actually an individual who, once reincarnated on Earth, is no longer doing so at the present time and acts as sort of an advisor to souls or to a certain group of souls during their lives on Earth and between their lives on Earth, especially. So Ramoth is someone I've known on the soul level for millennia, but not anyone that I have met in this life except through the channel.
On the subject of channeling, when, Brad, did you first realize you could channel, and how would you describe the experience?
I never believed I could channel until I had an interesting thing occur. As you said earlier, I'm a poet. I'm not a well-known poet. I don't know that I'm a good poet, but I'm an educated poet. I have been through two graduate writing programs. I have a Master of Arts degree in writing and a Master of Fine Arts degree in writing. And I spent most of my life teaching on the college level, teaching English and creative writing. In 1998, I believe, I went to the movie Shakespeare in Love. I went by myself to an afternoon showing and became very nervous. I did not like the movie, although I'd seen far worse movies. There was no reason not to like it, but my experience was unpleasant. So I left the theater, walked out on the movie. And I want to insist, I think it's a very good movie, but something was happening to me. When I got in my car, I found that I was shaking. I also discovered tears were running out of my eyes, and I didn't know why. Then a voice started moving through my head. It said, "It's all wrong. Pick up the pen." I questioned that. I said, I think I know what you want me to do, but I can't do it. And once again, I was told, pick up the pen. I went home and I started writing in iambic pentameter, which I'm quite capable of doing. But this was coming out in Elizabethan English. Before the afternoon was over, I realized that I was actually channeling William Shakespeare. Within about 30 days, I had a complete 2-act play finished. That play actually was staged at the college where I taught. It is 1,900 lines of iambic pentameter in Shakespeare's language. Shakespeare himself is the protagonist. During the play, he is writing his own play, Richard II. His muse is present, and so is the ghost of Richard II. I had written a great deal of that play before I had any idea where it was headed. It was only when, just knowing how plots work, about midway through the second act, I realized what the conclusion surely was going to be. Anyway, that was my primary experience in channeling, and it was a pretty big experience.
What is the connection, Brad, between Mary Magdalene, King Arthur, and Christianity?
The Holy Grail is tied in. According to Ramoth, Mary Magdalene and Joseph of Arimathea, the man who donated his tomb for the Jesus body, they traveled to England, southern England, and settling in the area that's now Glastonbury, they began teaching what they had learned directly from Jesus. That message included the ideas of karma and reincarnation. King Arthur eventually was born into that tradition. He learned Druid ways. He also learned these, what at the time was called Christine ways. I use the word Christine to separate the early followers of Christ from the later Christians who were the followers of the Christian church. The Christine message differs from the Christian message in that it includes concepts of karma and reincarnation. Arthur, by the time he came along, the Christian church was very well established. And he had issues with it because he had learned his Christianity from someone who had actually walked with Jesus. His tradition was different from the tradition that began with the formation of the early Christian church. His idea was to take an army onto the European mainland, capture the Pope, replace him with Pope of his choosing, and place one of the Knights of the Round Table as the King of Rome so as to protect his new church. That's what he wanted to do. Things fell apart. He and most of his knights all died within a day or so of each other. I think he would have changed the course of history had he survived. And that's the connection.
How, Brad, do alien beings fit into the scheme of things regarding your life path?
Well, I notice you have a statue of one standing behind you. It was probably early 2000, or maybe a little before that Ramoth began talking to me and also to several other regular clients of the channel, whose name is Yvonne. And we were told that there was going to be a showdown between the Greys and someone else. I presume that what he really meant was that Ramoth himself and those who serve God. His definition of the Greys is that they were essentially biological artificial intelligence that were created in he called them the Zetas, and that they had at some point destroyed the race of beings who created them. He saw the Greys as soulless creatures that had not been created by God. Kind of a mistake. Through a means that would have far more in common with the Ark of the Covenant than it would have with modern weapons, he had us create a little ark of our own, quite an economy model, no gold involved or anything like that. And there was an event on April 18th of the year 2000. We used the ark against the Greys, and I have heard a few reports of some incidents involving the Greys since then. But after that, they certainly left us alone. I myself have no evidence that they're active among us on Earth today. You may know otherwise, but as far as I know, we pretty much rid the skies of them at that time. Now, I do understand that they are still in existence. They are still in other dimensions, but they're not where I am.
What, Brad, is the nature of demons, and do we know their origin?
Demons are souls that once were human beings. When we die, we have the opportunity to go to the light. If we go to the light, eventually everything works out well between us and God, and eventually we will return to God, despite maybe having to reincarnate hundreds or thousands of times between now and then. But a demon is a soul that chose not to go to the light, probably for fear of some sort of retribution. They gathered together, they are cut off from God, they are less powerful even than human beings in many ways, because human beings do have a connection to God. They can tap into his power. Demons cannot. They rebel, they fight against God, and they are ultimately doomed.
You, Brad, have battled Satanists. Could you elaborate a bit on that confrontation, such as telling me how it came about and what transpired during the battle?
This was directed by Ramoth. Once again, he directed us to use the ark we had built to do this. We had two confrontations, and they happened on a spiritual plane. I myself could not see them, although the channel Yvonne was present and she did see what happened. One group of Satanists were gathering alongside a river, and there was a plan for perhaps a month for this to happen. And we were being prepared ourselves to try to thwart it. Their intent was to sacrifice a dog. What they wanted to accomplish beyond that, I don't really know. I just know that we met at the same time that they were meeting somewhere else. We used the ark. Apparently, the leader of that group was attempting to open a door of some type, and his declaration was that the wrong door had opened. Apparently, there was great bursts of light. People there were terrified. The dog escaped unharmed. I'm told that I actually knew a couple people who were part of that ceremony and that they were pretty terrified by it. I think the result was that maybe this group of negative individuals gave up their pursuit, or many of them gave it up after that happened. That there was another event too, where there was a young woman was about to be sacrificed in a sexual way, and we were able to stop that too. It was a very real experience. I mean, it sounds very abstract, but if you'd been there, you probably would be convinced that it was very real.
Can you, Brad, tell me about your past lives and what is it like for you now in this lifetime to be a reincarnated poet?
Yes, it's a little surreal. The relationship that I was in that caused me to go to Ramoth at the beginning, it turns out was a holdover from a past life, actually, probably more than one past life, in which I was a poet. And I identify myself as a poet now, even though you won't go to a bookstore and find a collection by me. But in the past, I've been published poets, a number of them, in fact, going way back in time. Some of them, the kind of poets that students have to read in high school, but some of them, the kind get forgotten by time. What it's like. I do find that even before I had any inkling that I was a reincarnated anything, I was drawn to two particular poets, and I did find out that I had been those two poets in past lives. They're better than I am, much better poets than I am in this life. But I suppose it's because of their experience that I'm a poet of any type nowadays.
Previously in the interview, you mentioned about channeling Shakespeare. By any chance, have you channeled other famous people? If so, who are they?
I myself have probably not channeled any other famous people. I'm not the channel, I'm the student. However, eventually, Yvonne and I were married, so I did marry the channel, and we lived together quite happily for quite a few years. That marriage has ended, but it ended amicably, and we are still very good friends. She's still available anytime I need a reading. No, I channeled Shakespeare during that time. And during that time, I'm told that I actually possessed an aspect of his soul. I don't know whether I was born with it or I was just given it. I don't know whether I still have it or it left after I had done the writing that needed to be done. I do know, however, that for 2 or 3 years following that experience, Yvonne sometimes channeled Shakespeare, who would come in and talk to me, usually about things I was doing wrong. It was never about writing, it was just about being a successful person. I remember him saying to me, "It's much more important to be a man than it is to be a writer."
You, Brad, and others have been performing several spiritual tasks in the present to help prepare the way for a coming age. What are these tasks and what can we expect will happen in that coming age?
I think my book, Where the Spirit Led, is probably the most tangible result of that. And I would recommend it to anyone who has an interest in how things are going to change within the next few decades, I would say, rather than few centuries. I think what we as human beings on Earth are going to see is an event that some people call the second coming, and some people will call it something else. It doesn't matter what it's called. What will occur is a rising in human consciousness. People will become more spiritual, they'll become more attuned to psychic things. In other words, they'll become more psychic. And we were able to experience that probably a generation or maybe 2 generations ahead of other people. When we talk about it among ourselves, we do refer to it as the second coming. We're all of the essentially of a Christian background. The five of us who were most closely associated with Ramoth and Yvonne. Of course, Yvonne is one of those five people. What we'll experience in the coming age is an understanding of our own past lives. Maybe not everyone will wake up knowing, oh, I was a farmer in Denmark in the 1700s, something like that. They may not know that, but it will be more widespread through what's now the Christian world, that reincarnation is a reality and is a part of God's plan for his souls to experience life and for them to find their way back to reunion with God himself. Knowing about your past lives explains your present life. I was a terribly confused person until I started learning people I had been in the past. I'm not a very confused person anymore. Some might argue with that, but I know that I have answers that I did not have before. And those answers have been very comforting to me. And that's possible for virtually anyone. All you really have to do to learn a past life is go to a hypnotherapist. Most of them will do past life regressions. And I have undergone a few of those.
Should viewers of Paranormal Yakker want to buy Where the Spirit Led, how, Brad, can they do that?
It is not a self published book. It is available in bookstores, but the easiest way to get it probably is to order it through Amazon.
Brad Burkholder, I thank you for being my guest on Paranormal Yakker. I very much enjoyed yakking with you and I wish you much success with the book.
Thank you very much. I've enjoyed it.